Look, I've seen a lot of things come through the doors of my pawn shop. Gold, silver, historical artifacts, you name it. But every now and then, something really special catches my eye, and that includes coins. We're not just talking about pocket change here. We're talking about commemorative coins, and Finland makes some of the most interesting ones out there. These aren't your everyday quarters or euros. They're little pieces of history, art, and national pride, all stamped into a small metal disc. They celebrate everything from famous artists and historical events to the unique nature of Finland, like its beautiful lakes and forests. They tell a story, and in my business, story is everything. So why do people get so excited about these coins? For a lot of folks, it's about connecting with a specific moment in time. Maybe a coin was minted to honor the year their parents got married, or to celebrate a Finnish athlete they admired as a kid. For others, it's about the thrill of the hunt. Finding that one rare coin to complete a set is a feeling like no other. And let's be honest, there's also the investment side. Some of these coins are made of precious metals like gold and silver, and their value can go up over time. It's a hobby that combines a love for history, a passion for collecting, and sometimes, a pretty smart financial move. Think of it like this. Every country has its heroes, its big moments, and its unique culture. The United States puts presidents on its money. Finland does that too, but it also puts things like the Finnish sauna, a famous author named Tove Jansson who created the Moomins, or even the concept of sisu, that Finnish grit and perseverance, on its coins. Each one is a miniature monument you can hold in your hand. They are designed by talented artists and struck with incredible precision. They're more than just currency. They're a way for a nation to say, this is who we are, and this is what we value. That's something I can really appreciate. When you start looking at these coins, you're not just looking at metal. You're looking at a carefully crafted piece of art that represents a nation's soul. The designs can be modern and abstract or classic and detailed, but they always have a purpose. They make you stop and think about the person, place, or idea being honored. It's a tangible link to Finnish culture that you can't get from reading a book or watching a documentary. It's something real, something you can touch. And for a collector, that physical connection to history is what it's all about. That's the magic of these little metal treasures. Every great coin has a story, and that story always starts at the mint. In this case, we're talking about the Mint of Finland, or Suomen rahapaja. This place has been around for a long time. We're talking way back to 1860, when Finland was still part of the Russian Empire, but had its own currency, the markka. The Tsar, Alexander II, gave them the green light to start minting their own money, which was a huge deal. It was a big step toward Finnish identity and independence. The mint started its operations in Helsinki, and it's been a cornerstone of the Finnish state ever since. It's not just a factory, it's a national institution. Over the years, the Mint of Finland has seen it all. It's produced coins through wars, economic booms, and massive political changes. It minted the first markka coins, saw the country through its independence in 1917, and managed the transition to the euro in 2002. That's a lot of history. Today, the Mint of Finland is one of the world's leading coin exporters. They don't just make coins for Finland, they produce them for dozens of other countries around the globe. They are known for their high-quality, innovative technology, and beautiful designs. When you hold a coin made by them, you know you're holding a product of expertise and tradition. What makes the Mint of Finland stand out is its commitment to quality and art. They work with some of the country's best artists and designers to create these commemorative coins. The process is fascinating. It starts with a design competition, where artists submit their ideas for a new coin. A special committee picks the winner, and then the real magic begins. The design is turned into a three-dimensional model, then into a steel die that will be used to strike the coins. Every detail has to be perfect, from the lettering to the fine lines of the artwork. It's a blend of old-school craftsmanship and modern technology. When you think about it, the Mint of Finland does more than just make money. It creates national symbols. The commemorative coins they produce are like a gallery of Finnish achievements and culture. They've honored architects like Alvar Aalto, composers like Jean Sibelius, and even milestones in social progress. They are a government-owned company, which means their work is directly tied to the national identity. They are the official storytellers of the nation, using metal as their medium. That's a heavy responsibility, but they've been doing a fantastic job of it for over 160 years. It's a legacy you can count on. Alright, so, you want to get into Finnish coins. The first thing you need to know is that they come in 3 main categories. You gotta know what you're looking at. First up, we have the old school stuff, the markka-era commemorative coins. The markka was Finland's currency, before they adopted the euro in 2002. These coins are a trip back in time. They started making commemorative markka back in the 1950s, usually in silver. They honored things like the 1952 Helsinki Olympics, or the 175th anniversary of the Finnish parliament. These pieces are pure history, and for collectors who love the pre-Euro days, they're the real deal. Next, you have the most common type you'll see today, the 2 euro commemorative coins. When Finland joined the Eurozone, it didn't stop celebrating its heritage. Like other countries in the EU, Finland gets to issue 2 of its own special 2 euro coins each year. These have a standard European side and a unique Finnish design on the other. They are meant to be used as regular money and circulate all over Europe. This is great for new collectors because you might actually find one in your change, if you're lucky. They've featured everything from Finnish universities and social services to the wild nature of Lapland. They're accessible, affordable, and a great way to start. Finally, we get to the high-end stuff, the gold and silver collector coins. These are the crown jewels of Finnish numismatics. These coins are not meant to be spent at the grocery store, even though they have a face value. Their real value comes from the precious metal they're made of and their rarity. They are minted in much smaller quantities and are aimed squarely at serious collectors. The designs are often breathtaking, true works of art. The Mint of Finland releases several of these each year, celebrating major cultural figures, historical anniversaries, and national events. They often come in beautiful presentation boxes with a certificate of authenticity. These are the pieces you display with pride. So, you've got 3 distinct paths you can take. You can be a historian, chasing down the silver markka coins that tell the story of post-war Finland. You can be a modern treasure hunter, trying to collect all the circulating 2 euro commemoratives. Or you can be an art and precious metals investor, seeking out the beautiful and rare gold and silver pieces. Of course, you can also collect all 3. Each type offers a different experience, a different challenge, and a different kind of reward. Knowing the difference is the first step to becoming a smart collector. Every collection has its superstars, the ones everyone wants to get their hands on. In the world of Finnish coins, there are definitely a few that stand out. Let's start with one from the markka-era, the 1952 Helsinki Olympics 500 markka coin. This was a big one. It was the world's first ever Olympic commemorative coin, and it set a trend that continues to this day. It was minted in silver and celebrated a huge moment for Finland as it hosted the world after the tough post-war years. For collectors, this coin isn't just a piece of silver, it's a symbol of hope and a piece of global sports history. Finding one in good condition is a real score. Moving into the Euro era, one of the most sought-after 2 euro coins is the 2004 enlargement of the European Union coin. Why this one? It was one of the first 2 euro commemoratives Finland ever issued, and it had a relatively low mintage of only 1 million pieces. That might sound like a lot, but in the world of coins that circulate across an entire continent, it's not. The design is a simple but elegant pillar with sprouts growing from it, symbolizing the growth of the EU. Because it was early and not many were made compared to later issues, it's become a key coin for any 2 euro collection, and its value is much higher than its face value. Another 2 euro coin that gets a lot of attention is the 2007 90th anniversary of independence coin. This one has a beautiful and symbolic design, a boat with 9 rowers, representing cooperation and moving forward together as a nation. It's a powerful image, and it really resonated with people. While its mintage was higher, the design itself is so iconic that it's a favorite among collectors. It perfectly captures a piece of the Finnish spirit. It's a great example of how a simple coin can tell a big story about national identity. It's more than just money, it's a piece of patriotic art. On the collector side of things, one that always gets people talking is the 100 years of Finnish independence gold coin from 2017. This was a 100 euro gold coin, and it was a masterpiece. The design, called the Face of Finland, is an abstract mosaic that forms a map of the country. It's modern, it's bold, and it's beautiful. Being made of gold and celebrating such a massive milestone, it was an instant classic. They only made a few thousand of these, so they are rare and valuable. This is the kind of coin that becomes the centerpiece of a collection, a true testament to a nation's history and artistry. This is a question I get all the time in the shop. It has a face value, so can I go buy a coffee with it? The answer is, well, it's complicated. It really depends on which coin you're talking about. Let's start with the easy one, the €2 commemorative coins. These are absolutely legal, tender. They're designed to be used as everyday money. You can take a Finnish €2 commemorative coin celebrating, say, Finnish nature, and spend it anywhere in the Eurozone, from Helsinki to Lisbon. The store owner might give you a funny look if the design is unusual, but they are legally obligated to accept it. They're worth exactly €2, no more, no less, at the cash register anyway. Now what about the old markka-era coins? These are no longer legal tender. When Finland switched to the euro, the markka was phased out. You can't spend them in shops anymore. Their value is now purely historical and based on what a collector is willing to pay for them. For these coins, the face value printed on them, like 500 markka, is just a historical detail. Their real value is determined by their rarity, condition, and the metal they're made from. So, if you find an old silver markka coin, don't even think about trying to spend it. Its collector value is almost certainly much higher than its old face value anyway. The trickiest category is the gold and silver collector coins. These are officially legal tender, but only in Finland, so a €100 gold coin is technically worth €100 at a bank in Finland. However, and this is a big however, you would be crazy to do that. The value of the gold or silver in the coin is almost always much higher than its face value. For example, a gold coin with a face value of €100 might contain €800 worth of gold. Spending it for €100 would be like throwing money away. The face value is mostly a legal formality. These coins are created as collectibles, not as currency for your wallet. So, to sum it up, €2 commemorative coins are for spending, though collectors usually prefer to keep them. Markka coins are historical artifacts with no currency value, and the gold and silver collector coins are legal tender in Finland, but their real value is in the metal and their rarity, so you should never, ever spend them. Understanding this distinction is really crucial. It's the difference between treating a valuable collectible with the respect it deserves and accidentally using a small treasure to buy a candy bar. Always know what you're holding before you even think about spending it. So, you're ready to jump in. That's great, but where do you start? My advice is always the same. Start small and start with what you like. Don't try to buy the rarest, most expensive coin right off the bat. The best entry point for Finnish coins is the €2 commemorative series. They are affordable, easy to find, and there's a defined set to collect. You could decide to collect one from each year, or maybe just the ones with designs that you find interesting. This approach gives you a clear goal without breaking the bank. It's about enjoying the process, not just spending money. Once you have your focus, you need to learn how to handle and store your coins properly. This is non-negotiable. The value of a coin is heavily dependent on its condition. A fingerprint can permanently damage the surface of a shiny, uncirculated coin. Always handle your coins by the edges, and it's even better to wear soft cotton gloves. For storage, don't just throw them in a jar. Use coin capsules, albums with plastic pockets, or professional coin holders called slabs. These will protect your coins from scratches, moisture, and the oils on your skin. A little bit of care goes a long way in preserving the value and beauty of your collection. Now, for the fun part, the hunt. You can start by checking your own change, especially if you live in or travel to Europe. You might get lucky and find a Finnish €2 commemorative. You can also swap with other collectors. There are many online forums and local clubs where people trade their duplicates. This is a fantastic way to build your collection and connect with people who share your passion. You learn a lot by talking to other collectors. They can give you tips, help you identify coins, and share stories about their own finds. The community aspect is one of the best parts of this hobby. As you get more serious, you'll need some tools of the trade. A good magnifying glass is essential. It will help you see the fine details of a coin's design and check for any tiny scratches or imperfections. A digital scale that can measure to 2 decimal places is also a good idea, especially if you start dealing with precious metal coins. It helps you verify the weight. And finally, get a good catalog or reference book. A book like the Euro catalog or specific guides to Finnish coins will give you all the details on mintage numbers, designs, and estimated values. Knowledge is power in this game. When you're ready to move beyond just finding coins in your change, you need to know where to buy and sell. The most reliable place to start is the source itself, the Mint of Finland. They have an online shop where you can buy new releases directly. When you buy from the Mint, you are guaranteed to get an authentic, top-quality coin, often in its original packaging. This is the safest way to buy new collector coins and €2 commemoratives in rolls or proof sets. You might pay the full retail price, but you're paying for peace of mind, and that's worth a lot in this business. Of course, for older or sold-out coins, you'll need to look elsewhere. Reputable coin dealers are your best friends here. A good dealer has the expertise to grade coins accurately and will stand by the authenticity of what they sell. You can find them online or at local coin shops and coin shows. Going to a coin show is a great experience. You can see a huge variety of coins in person, talk to dozens of dealers, and maybe even haggle a bit on the price. Building a relationship with a trusted dealer is one of the smartest things a collector can do. They can help you find specific coins and offer fair prices when you decide to sell. Then there's the Wild West online auction sites like eBay. You can find almost anything on these sites, often at lower prices. But you have to be careful. It's also where you're most likely to run into fakes, or coins that are not in the condition described. Before you bid, check the seller's reputation. Look at their feedback from other buyers. Study the photos carefully and ask for more if you need them. If a deal looks too good to be true, it probably is. I've seen people get burned by buying what they thought was a rare coin, only to find out it was a cheap copy. Do your homework before you click buy. When it comes to selling, you have the same options. You can sell to a dealer, which is fast and easy, though you might get a lower price because they need to make a profit. Or you can sell directly to other collectors online or at shows, which might get you a better price but takes more effort. To know what your coin is worth, you need to research recent sales of the same coin in similar condition. Websites like the Professional Coin Grading Service, or PCGS, or online auction archives can give you a good idea of the current market value. Never sell without knowing what you have. That's the first rule of making a good deal. Nothing feels worse than finding out you spent good money on a fake. In the world of collectibles, fakes are a fact of life, and Finnish coins are no exception. The good news is, with a little knowledge, you can learn to spot the red flags. The first thing to check is the weight and dimensions. Counterfeiters often use the wrong metals, so a fake coin might be too light or too heavy. A digital scale and a pair of calipers are your best tools here. Official Mint websites or coin catalogs list the exact specifications for each coin, its weight, diameter, and thickness. If your coin doesn't match, that's a huge warning sign. Next, use that magnifying glass and look closely at the details. The Mint of Finland uses incredibly precise equipment. On a genuine coin, the lettering will be sharp and uniform, the edges will be clean, and the fine details of the design will be crisp. Fakes, on the other hand, often look soft or mushy. The details might be blurry, the letters might be uneven, and the surface might have a strange, bubbly texture. This is because they are often made from a cast of a real coin, and the casting process loses a lot of that fine detail. If it looks sloppy, be suspicious. Another area to inspect is the edge of the coin. This is a detail that counterfeiters often get wrong. Many coins, especially the €2 commemoratives, have lettering or patterns on the edge. On a real coin, this edge lettering will be clear and well-defined. On a fake, it might be missing, sloppy, or look like it was crudely carved on. For bimetallic coins like the €2, check the seam between the inner and outer rings. On a genuine coin, the two metals are perfectly joined. On many fakes, you might see a small gap, or the colors of the metals might just look wrong. Finally, trust your gut, and buy from trusted sources. As I said before, if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. A rare silver coin being sold for a few bucks on a shady website is a giant red flag. Stick to reputable dealers, official mints, and highly rated sellers. If you're ever in doubt about a high-value coin, you can have it professionally authenticated and graded by a third-party service like PCGS or NGC. They will examine the coin and seal it in a special holder with a guarantee of its authenticity. It costs a bit of money, but for a valuable piece, it's the ultimate insurance policy. So there you have it. We've gone from the founding of the Mint of Finland to the fine art of spotting a fake. Collecting Finnish commemorative coins is a journey into the heart of a fascinating country. Each coin is a chapter in its story, a piece of its art, and a symbol of its pride. Whether you're hunting for circulating €2 coins, tracking down historical silver marca, or investing in a beautiful gold piece, you're doing more than just accumulating objects, you're becoming a custodian of history. You're preserving these small metal treasures for the next generation. It's a hobby with real substance. My biggest piece of advice for any new collector is this: have fun with it. This isn't supposed to feel like a job. Collect what you love. If you're fascinated by Finnish nature, focus on the coins that celebrate its wildlife and landscapes. If you're a history buff, go after the coins that mark important anniversaries. There's no right or wrong way to build a collection, as long as you're passionate about it. The thrill is in the hunt, the joy is in the discovery, and the satisfaction is in watching your collection grow, piece by piece. It's your adventure, so make it your own. To keep learning, you need to know where to find good information. The best place to start is the official website of the Mint of Finland, at rahapaja.fi. They have information on all their new releases, and a history of past issues. For values and community discussion, check out numismatic forums like Numista, or the coin collecting subreddits. And don't forget about books. A good physical catalog is an invaluable resource that you can always rely on. The European Central Bank's website, ecb.europa.eu, also has a section showing all the national sides of euro coins, which is great for identifying €2 commemoratives. In the end, every coin that passes through your hands has a story to tell. It's been designed by an artist, struck by a powerful press, and maybe it's even traveled across a continent in someone's pocket. Your job as a collector is to be its storyteller. So, get out there, start looking, and see what you can find. You never know what kind of history is waiting for you in a handful of change, or at a dealer's table. It's a great hobby, and I guarantee you'll learn something new every day. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a customer with a coin to look at. You never know what's going to come through that door.